The Smash Ultimate Fighter Pass is a brilliant way to get Nintendo fans excited about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate even though it's already released. It allows the level of hype to be maintained about possible new characters joining the battle even though the game could already be in your hands and you could be experiencing it. This is something that wouldn't have been able to be done without DLC, but some fans are airing their grievances about a rumor that has been circulating about the final 4 characters for the Smash Ultimate Fighter Pass. Some people have problems with the characters specifically, and some people have problems with the fact that they're coming as DLC in general. Within this video, if you haven't already guessed it, I'm going to be addressing this rumor and my thoughts around it, and my viewpoint concerning the problems that people have with it. I'm also going to use this as an opportunity to address my thoughts on DLC for gaming as a whole, and whether or not I think it's a good idea, as we see it a lot in this modern age. And while what I'm talking about today for the most part is a rumor, it does have some credibility because of the source that it's coming from, which I'll explain a little bit later. So if you want to make sure to avoid spoilers for Smash Ultimate, I'd advise clicking off of this video. But if you want to deep dive a little bit more into this topic, stay tuned. I'm going to begin by stating that I don't mind DLC for a game as long as the game is finished and feels like it's complete. If paid DLC is released for a game and I feel that the game itself isn't already complete on its own, I would think that DLC is a bad thing because it should have been included with the game to begin with. But with the way Super Smash Bros. Games are released nowadays, with the abundance of content being included within them that makes it seem like there can't be too much more added in because there's so much already, DLC that's paid for makes sense because the consumers are already being satisfied with the product. I had no problems with the Smash 4 DLC because it mainly involved bringing back fan favorite characters and some major third-party icons along with them. And they're all completely optional for you to buy, and I find that the Smash 4 roster was fairly complete on its own without this DLC being added in. However, if you contrast that with the rumored characters for the Smash Ultimate DLC, things are a little bit different. Now, why do people find this rumor to be credible in the first place? Well, the user on the Site 5 channel that is reporting these characters to be coming to Smash Ultimate perfectly leaked Joker and Persona 5 R that was confirmed later on after the leak was posted to be a real thing. These correct predictions give these leaked characters credibility, and that's why many people find them very likely to be official. Now, it's definitely possible, and we've seen this before, that this guy just got a little bit of information and decided to create some buzz by adding in some crap on top of it that isn't actually real. I've seen it happen, it's likely to have happened this time as well, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt here. So, what characters do they say are going to be coming to Smash Ultimate? Well, Edric from Dragon Quest is one of them, Ryu from Ninja Gaiden is another one, Steve from Minecraft is the third character, and Doom Guy from Doom, obviously, is the fourth character that is rumored to be coming, and those would fill out the Fighter Pass. In a separate post, Rayman and a character from Tekken are also mentioned that could come in to replace Ryu and Doom Guy, but it's unknown as to whether or not that's actually going to be what happens. This is all a rumor in general, and even if those two characters are going to be the replacements, the arguments that some fans are making about this DLC still stand true. So with all of these characters being said, why do some Nintendo fans have a problem with this? Let's start with the problems that they have with the DLC in general, and not the character specific. This is because they're marketing this game as the Ultimate Edition of Super Smash Bros. While they're releasing DLC on top of it. This is an argument that I do not buy, because Smash Ultimate is an Ultimate game on its own, and I get why some people wouldn't want to like having to pay for other characters on top of it. Hell no, I don't want to pay for more characters. I'd rather everything be included with a standard product, but if DLC is going to happen, and I'm satisfied with the current purchase of the product, as I mentioned earlier, then I think that DLC is fine. But when the arguments start to get a little bit more valid is when they get more character specific. All of these rumored characters are non-Nintendo characters, meaning the only DLC character being added that is actually a first-party Nintendo character is Piranha Plant, and he was basically just used as an early purchase bonus for free content. Piranha Plant's definitely going to be a paid character down the line, but he was given away for free because he's a unique first-party character that Nintendo probably doesn't see too many people going out of their way to purchase. So when you've got all of these third-party characters being added in, some of which many people aren't going to be too familiar with, considering that Dragon Quest is very popular in Japan, and there's only been one Doom game on a Nintendo console in a long time, you're not going to have too many of these guys be very recognizable, and some people may be regretting their Fighters Pass purchase because of this. This is especially concerning when Nintendo marketed all these characters as being, quote, must-haves, which definitely influenced a lot of people to go and purchase the game because of the trust that they've built within Nintendo to this company, because they've created many enjoyable games in the past and still do. So they trusted them with their word here, and when they released Ryu from Ninja Gaiden, a 30-year-old game that was on the NES, which is still going around today, but not on Nintendo consoles, as a DLC fighter for the game, and they considered that guy a must-have, many people would probably consider that to be a bait and switch, because I know that even without seeing any gameplay of this character, I'd be able to survive without Ryu from Ninja Gaiden as a playable character in Smash. I think it's a very nice idea for a throwback, and they can make this moveset very interesting, but without knowing how he works and all that kind of stuff, I think I'd be perfectly fine without that addition into the game. A first-party Nintendo character such as Geno would be a much higher priority, and I would definitely consider that character to be a must-have, because if Geno's not included in the base game of Smash Ultimate, you're definitely going to want him in if he's DLC. Hardcore Nintendo fans who have experienced Mario RPGs in the past are very familiar with Geno because of his prominent role in Super Mario RPG and all the unique attacks that he can implement. I've talked about Geno in multiple videos in the past. I'm not going to ramble too much about him here. He's just an example of a first-party Nintendo character that could have been put in as one of these must-have roles, and then instead Nintendo is giving these spots reportedly over all these third-party characters. But why are they doing this? Well, much of this is just for promotion for newer games and probably some deals that Nintendo was able to whip up for some games coming to the Switch. Joker, for example, is a very nice character idea, and he's one of the ones that I really like out of all this bunch. But Joker's inclusion, as I mentioned in the Real Significance of Joker video, was probably just done for a future Persona 5 port on the Nintendo Switch. They've been teasing that a lot, and I could definitely see it happening, and it's one of the main reasons why I think Joker was included in the game in the first place. And in this rumored, it even includes explanations for why some of these characters are going to be coming in, like Doom Guy, for example, is in order to promote Doom Eternal that's going to be coming out next year. This will be a Switch release, and I guess Bethesda must have wanted their character in Smash Bros. In order to further promote this and get some more sales on a Nintendo platform. When it was announced that Nintendo themselves would be choosing the DLC characters to Smash Ultimate and Sakurai wouldn't really have as much input there, some people estimated that they would be doing more business-styled choices for these characters, and this definitely seems to be the reality, instead of fan service like many people would have expected out of a downloadable content pack, which is mainly for people who really enjoyed the base game of Smash Brothers and want more, and these are probably more of hardcore Nintendo fans who are going to go out of their way to purchase this thing, and they would appreciate some characters from games that they've played on Nintendo consoles. Do I mind that these are a lot of third-party characters being included? No, absolutely not. I love having some third-party characters in Smash Brothers, but for some purists out there who really like to appreciate Smash Brothers as the Nintendo fighting game, which it always has been, with third parties coming second, you could understand some of the disappointments if they've already purchased the Fighter Pass, and it's kind of a bait and switch here from Nintendo to make it so that there's not any first-party Nintendo characters coming as game DLC. Again, a counter argument to this is if you don't like it, don't buy it. If you're not interested in the characters that are going to be coming, you shouldn't have purchased the Fighter Pass in the first place, and you shouldn't just buy the characters when they come out. Don't buy something that you don't support. Show that you don't like it by not purchasing it and voicing your opinion. However, there's going to be some people, and I guarantee that this is a thing, who aren't aware of the DLC characters, and they're expecting some first-party Nintendo characters who've already bought the Fighter's Pass, and then they're going to be disappointed when they find out that there's going to be none of them included within it. They don't look at any of the rumors or leaks out, and they don't know what's coming, and then they're just going to be baited and taken for a left turn when they see this happen. We could definitely get some unique and interesting concepts for characters out of this bunch. I think promoting Dragon Quest more outside of Japan is a very good idea, and as I mentioned numerous times throughout my videos, Smash Brothers is a great place to outlet for some popularity. You're going to have every Nintendo fan's eyes on your game if you have a character from there represented in Smash Brothers. That's just how this works. It's a great promotional tool. But when this is exploited clearly for some financial gain from all these companies, there's got to be some deals in place here for these certain characters, you would understand why there's some backlash to this. Another major problem that people have with the DLC characters is part of the rumor which states that Steve was originally supposed to be included in the base roster of the game, but was held back deliberately in order to promote Minecraft Dungeons coming in 2019. This is something that I don't like. Remember earlier on in the video where I mentioned that all of Smash 4's characters for DLC started development after the game's development was finished. The base game was done and the roster was completed. Obviously some concepts for characters were thrown around before then, but development hadn't started until the game was finished. If Steve was intended to be in the base game of Smash Ultimate and then was deliberately held back to be as a paid DLC character, that is pretty scummy to do to your fans. No, I'm no fan of Minecraft. I could definitely see Steve having a very unique moveset and being a creative, fun character, especially with the rumors stating that he has Alex and freaking Master Chief skins. It's gonna be so much fun to use that as an alt. But wouldn't it have been better to have all of this fun surrounding this character packed into the base game as intended, instead of having it deliberately held off behind a paywall for people who like Minecraft and want to have this character in Smash Brothers, make him have to pay for it? People don't like to have to pay for things which they feel that they were entitled to get in the first place. And for some characters like Joker, for example, where it's unclear as to whether or not he was intended to be put in the base game roster, it's okay to have to purchase that, and some people would definitely not feel like they must have Joker in their game. But for a character who was intended to be included, and then Nintendo just thought, oh no, we'll make people pay for this guy because we know that Minecraft's popular and we're going to get a lot of people here, that's not nice to do. The final problem that people are expressing about this DLC that I'll talk about in this video is how they're wasting some of the representation from all these great companies. Steve from Minecraft, for example, is a Microsoft character, obviously, when Nintendo could have gotten Banjo and Kazooie, who were classic Nintendo characters on the Nintendo 64, but because Rare was bought by Microsoft, now Banjo and Kazooie are Microsoft characters. They're owned by them, and it would have taken Nintendo and Microsoft to do a really nice collaboration in order to get this to happen and put Banjo in Smash. This would have gotten a lot more hardcore Nintendo fans happy, who remember the days of Banjo, Kazooie, know a little bit more about the series, but no, they go straight for the money, go with the character who's more popular with kids today, and that's going to be Steve from Minecraft, because Minecraft a few years ago was the most popular thing on earth. It's always not good to see a company go with financial interests first instead of enjoyment from the fans. You have to balance out both, and I don't think Nintendo did a good job with it, if this rumor's to be believed. I definitely sympathize with a lot of the people that are expressing their grievances online with this, and while I don't feel too adamant about it, as I feel that I'm going to purchase the DLC characters anyway, and I feel that a lot of these characters that are included within the rumor could be good characters in the game and have unique movesets, it's understandable as to why some people wouldn't be too happy with them. Some of the third-party characters are not nearly as recognizable as the ones being included in Smash 4, like Ryu, for example, compared to a Dragon Quest character or the protagonist from Doom. They're not really comparable in this sense for a fighting game DLC character. I'm probably going to be happy with what we end up getting as the Smash Ultimate DLC anyway, because I was completely satisfied with what was in the base game, and I'll enjoy seeing these characters included. But for some fans, that's definitely not going to be the case. I encourage you to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Check out some of the previous videos that I have on screen for you, and I'll see you next time.